Hi everyone, welcome to the final video in this series from the Johanna Basford's planner using Black Widow's pencils. I'm going to start with my Black Widow. I'm going to do all the eyes of the remaining bugs. I just think it's a little bit easier to do them all now than to, sorry I'm out of breath, I've just run upstairs, than to try and do it as we go along. So I'm just going to get those little eyes all done, and then we can, I don't know what the eyes are on that one. Then we can make a start. Now I've picked out some colour combos in advance, just because there were so many left. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, so I thought I would just pick them out and it would just make it be easier for me now to do. Whew, I'm feeling a little bit warm. It's very hot today. Well, I say very hot comparatively to what it has been. And the heat's making me feel a bit nauseous, and my blood sugar's feeling a bit low, which is a feeling I haven't had for a long time. I don't know whether it's from eating too many cakes. They didn't have added sugar, but they had lots of carbs in with the flour and the banana, or whether it's just the heat. It's probably the heat, to be fair. It does affect me a lot. Right, I find I don't often get low blood sugar. I used to a lot as a child, and but the thing that is most influential on it tends to be heat. Okay, this one we're going to do a sort of yellowy colour. So I'm going to start with banana. I'm going to do the main body. It's going to do it all as one, I think, because yellow is quite difficult to fade, in that if you start to fade it, it almost disappears because it doesn't show up brilliantly on white paper. So I'm trying to fade it, but it'll be hard to see. For the legs, I'm using the egg yolk. It's a slightly orangey yellow, but it certainly looks darker, but it still looks like yellow. I thought it was quite a good choice. I need to sharpen this just gently. There we go. And do all the legs. There is a few of these ones, I think. Now I preferred the bugs that I did in Small Victories. There was a bug page in there, and I preferred what I did with those, but where am I? It's there. It's okay. I think they're a little bit bigger in Small Victories than these. I'm not sure. It feels like they were bigger. Maybe they weren't. But these just feel really teeny. So now we're going to swap back to our banana for the body. I hope everyone's doing well today. It's Wednesday, isn't it? When this video goes out anyway. It isn't Wednesday today. It's rare that I make a video. And yeah, I wouldn't make a video on the day it was going out. I've done that a couple of times. Not because I wanted to get something out quickly. There's one over here, but it's quite difficult to do that, all the editing and everything else all quite quick. I don't like that kind of rushing. I like to be able to feel like I'm nicely ahead, so I don't have to rush. You know, I am fast at doing things, but I don't want to feel in a panic, if you know what I mean. I do it fast because I'm naturally fast, the egg yolk. But I'm not doing it because, you know, I'm running out of time. There's a big difference, yeah, I like to be able to do it at my own pace. It's more relaxing as well. You know, I know this channel is really meant to be relaxing for you, not me. It's relaxing for me as well. The first one I did, I missed off the antenna. There we go. Okay, he's done. I'm going to move on to this little chap. I'm just moving through the colours as I put them down on the table. So I'm going to use the amethyst after I've rubbed my eye. Oh, really itchy. Got a little steeper in there. For the body. And then we'll use, now I've got an itchy nose. Oh, stop it. Do you ever get that where every part of you seems to itch and another bit itches, another bit itches? Oh, that isn't actually what's happening to me today, it's just my face. But sometimes at night I get just the itchy itchies. I think it's my age. Apparently you can get menopause can cause skin itching. But grape. But it's not very pleasant. I had it the other night and I put on a long sleeve top in bed, even though it's quite warm. I had been wearing a sleeveless one at night because it helps me with keep cooler with my hot flashes. But yesterday evening I was having so many hot flashes. Anyway, but I put on a long sleeve top because I knew I'd feel more itchy if my arms were exposed, and I might end up scratching myself in the night. There's loads of these, but I can't find them. Where is it? There's one down here at the bottom and one there. You can do those at the same time, I think. So I've still got the grape in my hand, so I'm going to use that and do the antenna and the legs. Yeah, but I sometimes wake up and I've got scratched arms and shoulders and I don't remember scratching. But I do have, I used to be absolutely rubbish at using moisturising cream, but I got a little bit at Christmas, so I use that sometimes when I think about it, because it's not a habit. I don't always remember, you know, but it does help, even though it's not a sort of dermatitis-y type problem really. Well, I think it's more of a hormonal thing, but maybe the hormones affect the skin, I don't know, because I didn't know whether it's just in my head. I'm just checking if I've got any more of those, but I thought there were loads of those, but I think these two are the last two. So back to our amethyst. So anyway, it's all fun and games, isn't it, at this sort of age? I was speaking to someone the other day and she was 47 and she felt she was nowhere near menopause, whereas by her age I was already having symptoms, even though I wasn't showing all symptoms. Now it's perimenopausal, now I'm definitely menopausal. But hey ho, it's life for us women. And our hot flashes are fine in the winter. I can cope with them then, but in the summer, yeah, ugh. Right, our next little bug is this chap, and he's going to be greens, and we're going to go and do this one, because this is him as well. So we're starting with everglade. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Everglade with the body. Yep. Oh, hiccups now. I went downstairs. You know how I said probably Monday's video, you may not have remembered or watched it. Excuse me, I said I was full because I'd eaten too many cakes. Well, I just went downstairs to get a coffee because I was getting a horse and sore throaty, and I ate another cake. Is this why I don't bake? It's just I can't resist them. It is definitely true. If you don't have food in the house that you shouldn't be eating, it's much easier. You know, I wouldn't buy cake anywhere now because the ingredients are just so, I don't know, there's so many chemicals in them, preservatives and not proper fats and all sorts of things, you know, so I just wouldn't buy them. So I have to make them, and you know, I just don't, and I think it's good. But the rest of the cakes that are left aren't mine. The kids made some for the children as well. So this is Everglade. Husband wanted some, but I told him he shouldn't really, because they've got oat milk in, and I don't know if he can drink it, if it would upset his stomach, and I don't want him to have an upset stomach tomorrow because I'm going out. So him to feel well. Oh, it's so hot in here. I shut the door. Well, I have to shut the door because my son's streaming. Right, we've got 2 blues this time. Got a blue heaven to start with. I think I might do the head and body in 2 on this one. I was going to say split it in 2, but that isn't very nice. We'll just do it in 2 rather than splitting it in 2. I thought this was the only one of these, but there is another one. So we'll do that one in a bit. I also need to carefully check if we've done all the edges, because it's really easy to miss the ones on the edge. And also not always easy to identify which ones they are. I just want to darken that edge a bit. There we go. There's a couple of these. Blue horizon. Yeah, there's a couple more of these. I wonder if my husband's asleep. He said he's been sleeping a bit more lately. He's gonna put his medication back up because he wasn't when he was on a higher dose, but I feel it might be the heat rather than the medication dose. It makes you so tired. But I don't know whether it affects him in the same way as me. Might just be me. And we've got, where is he? There he is. Going to do his legs, so I'm not going to change pencil. I'm going to sharpen it there. But I don't know how people who live in hot countries cope. I guess your bodies get used to it. I know, I suppose we get used to it too through the summer. But I don't want to get used to it. Ugh. But it's going to get cooler next week. And that's what I find myself doing in the summer. Looking forward to the next time it gets a bit cooler. Which, I don't know if that's a very healthy approach. But it's very warm in the sitting room. The boys' computers throw out a lot of heat. And my son shut the door up because he was streaming. It's too noisy. Back to our blue heaven. There's a lot of noise outside. Not loads, but you know, people walking past, cars, that sort of thing. You know, it all is a bit distracting on his live. So yeah, I've been thinking about getting this fan air conditioning thing where you put ice in it and it blows through the ice to make cool air in the room. My niece, I'm sure she said she had one. Keeping the same blue for the body of this one. So I don't know where she got it from. She shops a lot in Lidl, or maybe it was one of the centre aisle things, or is that Aldi that does that? I don't know, or maybe they both do it. I don't know, I don't shop it either. I've been to Lidl a few times. I don't even know if I've been in an Aldi. We never used to have one here. You know, they're fairly new, the ones we've got in this town, and they're just not near us, so we just don't go there. This is Blue Horizon. My husband used to shop in them when he was a student in Birmingham because they had them, or one, I think it was Lidl. And I used to sometimes go in one with my mum because she had one. It was actually her closest supermarket. But I know a lot of people that shop in there because they are in the UK the cheapest supermarkets, Aldi and Lidl. And then I think Asda is the next cheapest. Probably then maybe Tesco and Sainsbury's. I think some things in the Co-op are quite cheap, but they're not all cheap. Right, next colour we have a saffron from the Skin Tones. I'll be doing this one. This is blunt, let's just sharpen it a tad. Do this, the saffron is the paler colour of the two that I've picked. It's quite a pretty colour actually, isn't it? But we actually shop in Waitrose, which is really expensive, but it's got loads cheaper. Their own brand products are quite cheap. Their own brands used to be expensive, but now they're not. And they're our local shop, you see. This is Carrot, they are our sort of corner shop. And we like their products, but we may have to go somewhere cheaper. But also, the people who work in there know us. You know, we've lived nearby so long that they've known us since before our children were born. It just feels really friendly and nice. And as I say, we've been a bit more careful in what we're buying lately. And we've managed to get our shopping bill down really significantly. So that's good. You know, it means I'm not having certain things I like, and nor are the children. But they're not necessary. We're not going hungry by any stretch of the imagination. We're just cutting back on unnecessary items like chocolate and crisps and back to saffron and things like that, and changing a few brands around, trying cheaper brands, seeing what they're like. You know, if we don't like them, we'll go back to the others. But it seems to be working and helping, but as I say, we don't know yet until husband gets his paycheck at the end of May. We don't really know if we're going to get enough. My sister actually being in a similar situation where she's being switched over to a new type of benefits because her husband works 2 days a week because the stress of his autism makes it, the stress of work combined with his autism makes it too difficult for him to work more than a few days a week. She is homeschooling the children who are being homeschooled because they have autism too. She gets one of her kids gets a disabled living allowance, and she gets carer's allowance. The other one is still being fully assessed. He's got ADHD actually, and so she's homeschooling and she's also studying. That's interesting. Whoops. This one, so she's, when the children are old enough to go to work or leave home or whatever, then I'm trying to work out which way round these go. Yeah, this is the slightly lighter one. This is the cicada. Once the children are, you know, she's finished schooling them, then her course has only got another year. Then she be able to go to work and work for a certain amount of time without. She can only work or study for a certain amount of hours. This is grub green. But we're lucky because we've paid our mortgage, which means we own our house. But she hasn't, so she has that to work out as well. But we own our house, which is nice, but obviously there's still things to pay for. And I'm trying to do my best to earn more because I don't have a pension, so I need to save up for my retirement as well as contributing to the household. But apparently there's been a lot of stuff in the cicada in the Guardian newspaper about people reducing their working hours or changing their jobs to ones that are more enjoyable, and just managing on less money because they've started to realise that it's better to have less money and have a better quality of life. I think with that it depends how you define your quality of life. If what you love is holidays or buying expensive things, then you're going to have to work. But if what you like is being at home and relaxing, or watching TV, or being in the garden, or country walks, then those hobbies aren't too expensive, so maybe you could cut down. It's something the government is not encouraging because it doesn't help to grow the economy. Here's this little creature. Now, he's going to start off in dark tan. And so, yeah, it's not something that we are encouraged to do, but if you can afford to do it, you know, it might be really worth it. I think we're going through in the UK, I don't know about the rest of the world, a mental health crisis at the moment. We've got so much, the waiting lists are humongous for mental health assessments and treatments, and I think there's quite a lot of reasons for it. This is the foxy brown. That I think with the way the news is at the moment, everything can seem quite bleak, and the way our news is portrayed has changed. It didn't used to be like that. This one here, it used to be, I don't know, we didn't seem to be barraged with negativity in the same sort of way we are now, and I don't think that can help. I also think people are being exposed to news at a younger age. You know, children get to hear about it and know about it through social media, and I think that isn't good for their mental health. Here is the dark tan. I'm pretty sure there aren't worse things going on now than there were years ago. It's just that we know about it more. But it's not just that, is it? You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of pressure to buy lots of things, so you have to earn and work and things like that. And I think that it's quite difficult. There is almost a competition. Fairy floss. To have the best things, you know, fashion, phones, things like that, even food and holidays, houses, decor, gardens, everything. There is competition, keeping up with the Joneses, as they used to call it, but I think it's so much worse now than it ever has been. This is cyanide pink, and I'm just going to sharpen it. I feel that creates a feeling that firstly maybe that you don't belong in society because you haven't got the things, that you have to work harder and earn more to get the things, but maybe you can't. And if you do try and work harder and to get the things, then it's stressful. It's really difficult. I'm just going to go back to my fairy floss to do this eye, which I missed off. Now, I think we are done. Now, background. I'm not going to do a background, but I'm going to talk to you about backgrounds in case you want to do one. Now, I think when you've got a rainbow coloured page like this, having a white background is quite good because things just stand out off the page. However, you might want to do something. Now, it's really hard like this bug here, his antenna are one line. So if you do a background here, you've got to either try and colour around that or draw it back in, unless you do a pencil background. If you do a pen background, I was thinking, you know, you don't want to do black. We've got a lot of black going on here, but you might want to do, say, silver, or yeah, I think silver could work, although our wings might disappear. You could try a pencil or a pastel instead. Yeah, I do have a silver pastel, but I'm not going to try and get it around all these bits. I'd have to go over the whole thing. I don't really want, actually it's not silver, I think. Oh, it is, this one, silver. But I think it would just smudge it all and spoil it, so I'm not going to do a background at all. You could, if you want, use a Wink of Stella or a, what's it called, Sakura do a pen, which you can coat over and it makes everything shiny. You could do that on the bugs if you want them to look shinier. That's another thing that you could try. But really, or you could just get some coloured pens or pens, fine liners, and just do some dots around in between if you want to, just to make it look a bit magical or something. That's another idea. But no, I'm going to leave it just like that. So there we go. So it has been quite a long series. Today's video a little bit shorter. I thought it would actually take a long time. I probably hurried a bit because I thought there was a lot to do. But anyway, there we go, all done. Thank you for watching. Hopefully next week's will be a bit simpler, but I've got no clue. I haven't looked. I'll have a peep in a minute. I actually got a feeling I know what it is. Anyway, we won't talk about that. It's too scary. This one was hard enough, and I know some of you had already been saying it was a bit difficult, but yes, they are small. But we've done it. Oh, if you don't have these pencils, you want a different idea, metallic pencils might look really good on these as well. Different idea. But anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.